All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Just going to do a quick recap video today from the Bassmaster Open at Kentucky Lake. Pretty disappointed that I have to make this video because unfortunately my Insta360 camera with the battery and the cable, it just didn't work again. So I didn't get any tournament footage, which is a shame because there was actually some pretty good fish catches. But I'm just going to give you guys a quick recap for those of you who don't follow my Facebook and my Instagram about kind of how I placed. I ended up finishing in 85th place out of, I think it was 189 anglers. So, you know, top half, which unfortunately is actually my best finish of the year so far on the Opens. It's been a brutal year for me. Just couldn't get certain things going, but quick recap for you guys. Day one, did not have a fish until noon. Caught a bunch of shorts, 15-inch minimum there, and practice was pretty tough on me in terms of getting keeper bites, but managed to pull off 3 pretty good ones off of a single brush pile that was loaded with smallmouth and largemouth. Kind of kept rotating back to the same brush pile, and every time I would come back every 30 minutes, they would kind of reset up and bite again. And I was able to get a 4.5-pound smallmouth, 3-pound largemouth, and then a 2-something largemouth or smallmouth on day one for 3 fish for 9.5 pounds, which had me sitting in 114th. Day two, ran a bunch of new water, and again had 0 fish at about noon. Went back to that brush pile in the afternoon, and they were still there, and managed to catch a 3-pound largemouth off of it, and maybe a 2.5-pound largemouth off of that same brush pile, and a couple shorts off of it. And ended up running around and went right outside of takeoff. There were a couple of rock piles that I wanted to get on day one that I wasn't able to. And I was able to get onto it around 2 o'clock with a 3 o'clock check-in on day two, and managed to catch 4 keepers and cull once to get a limit for 12.5 pounds right before check-in, which moved me up to 85th place from 114th. So moved up 29 spots. Improvement on day two, but still a rough tournament. Kentucky Lake had just fished really tough for a lot of people. There were a lot of small fish. The lake is rebounding, so the numbers are good. But the size, you know, there's obviously very big fish. There was an 8-pounder weighed in. And at the top end, the weights were really high. But as you went down the leaderboard, there were a lot of people who did not catch a limit both days. A lot of non-limits one days, a lot of non-limits both days. It was just hard to find a keeper bite in a lot of different areas. And a lot of these fish were setting up on isolated pieces of structure and whatnot. So ultimately my best finish of the year, but still kind of disappointing. But it was, you know, I don't have good luck on TVA fisheries so far. And it was really the first tournament where I had to side scan for structure. So learned a lot, and some good takeaways from that tournament. But ultimately another kind of disappointing finish. But coming up in a couple weeks here, we got one more open for the year at La Crosse. Only way I can make it into the EQs is to win it. And if I was to say there was a tournament this year that I would have, on the Opens at least, that I would have the best chance of winning, it would be at La Crosse. I've done well there, all different times of year. So really looking forward to that one. But next video for you guys, finally got the camera working, will be the Wisconsin Bass Nation Classic at Wissota. That will be coming out hopefully later this week. So thank you all for watching, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you on the next one.